Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and tap the bell icon so you never miss an update. Now, let's talk about the reality TV crossover drama that has everyone whispering and a few people openly gasping. Barstool Sports personality Brianna Chickenfree LaPaglia has just thrown a match onto a very dry pile of sister wives history. According to Brianna, Robyn Brown, Kody Brown's last remaining wife, is not just annoyed with her. She's furious. And if the story is to be believed, she's furious enough to have issued a jaw-dropping warning. She wants to kill her. Yes, that's the sentence that stopped the internet cold. This tension didn't start online. It began behind the scenes during filming for Special Forces World's Toughest Test Season 4. The show premiered September 25th, 2025, and wrapped its finale on November 20. The cast was stacked with reality TV veterans Teresa Giudice and her daughter Gia, Brittany Cartwright, and of course, Kody Brown himself, now 56 and still carrying decades of public baggage. The show is designed to break people. Physically, mentally, emotionally. But for Kody and Brianna, the real pressure wasn't coming from obstacle courses or drill sergeants. It was coming from each other. Brianna later recalled that things felt uncomfortable almost immediately. In a preview clip shared by Us Weekly, she admitted she'd called Kody creepy behind his back. Her reasoning was blunt and honest. He was older, she didn't feel comfortable, and she didn't want to engage. A staff member then calmly reminded her, "You also said he was creepy." And that's when everything shifted. Kody reportedly overheard the comment and confronted her. Tension spiked, voices rose, and in a moment that felt more like reality TV theater than military discipline, another castmate dumped a bucket of water on Kody's head. The moment went viral instantly. Equal parts awkward, funny, and deeply uncomfortable. But that wasn't the real explosion. The real bomb dropped later on Brianna's podcast. She described Kody as either misunderstood or simply bad. She admitted she didn't even know who he was when filming began, something she'd hinted at months earlier in an Instagram Q&A. That alone, you can imagine, didn't help the ego. And in a separate October podcast, she accused him of speaking harshly to women on set. Comments that quietly circulated but clearly didn't go unnoticed. Brianna insists she never attacked Robyn directly. She never spoke to her, never met her. But her unfiltered criticism of Kody, and what some perceived as harmless flirtation, reportedly lit a fuse. The story takes its sharpest turn at a post-finale press dinner in Hawaii. Brianna says she casually asked Kody why his wife wasn't there. His reply, according to her, was chilling. "She couldn't come," he said, "because she would kill you." Brianna thought he was joking. He wasn't. He allegedly explained that Robyn was furious over Brianna's on-screen remarks and the attention Kody had received from younger female castmates. Brianna was stunned. Not amused, just stunned. Behind the scenes, production insiders claim Kody had been noticeably eager for attention, especially from Brianna and Gia Giudice, in ways that some found uncomfortable and others simply found sad. Depending on who you ask, it was either harmless insecurity or something much harder to defend. Robyn, long portrayed as fiercely protective and no-nonsense by Sister Wives fans, has spent years defending her marriage, while Kody's relationships with Meri, Janelle, and Christine fell apart. Since marrying in 2014, she stood beside him through public backlash, family fractures, and a reputation that refuses to soften. So when she allegedly heard that a 26-year-old podcast star had been calling her husband creepy on national television, let's just say, patience was not the emotion of the moment. And that's where we'll pause, because what happens next only gets more complicated. But this latest twist casts Robyn in a far more volatile light. Jealous enough, some say, to skip press events. Upset enough, according to the story, to issue a threat that sounded more like a line from a thriller than a reality show. Brianna claims Robyn was so bothered by her interactions with Kody on Special Forces that she refused to attend public appearances tied to the show. One YouTube breakdown ran with the story, turning rumor into wildfire. Brianna later clarified on her podcast that the comment was relayed to her secondhand through Kody, but even that didn't soften the impact. It rattled her. After my experience today with Kody from Sister Wives, I honestly can't tell if he's misunderstood or if he's just bad, she said, managing to sound both empathetic and sharply skeptical at the same time. It was sympathy with a side of side eye. Fans, of course, wasted no time. Over on Reddit's Sister Wives subreddit, one user joked that they'd spent weeks thinking Chicken Free was Robyn's daughter, Brianna, not a real person on Special Forces. Others were far less amused. Some focused on Kody's behavior instead. It was so obvious he was attracted to Bri and Gia. One post read, "That last grab was too much." And that's where the conversation keeps circling back to Kody. He's tried to frame his Special Forces appearance as a kind of redemption arc. In a May 2025 Sister Wives one-on-one special, he insisted he didn't want to be seen as the villain. He talked about accountability, about saying things in the heat of the moment, about regret. But then he also walked back some of his own admissions, suggesting his ex-wives shared blame for the fractured relationships with his children. For many viewers, it felt less like growth and more like deflection. Now his Special Forces storyline, complete with water dump confrontations, personality clashes, and this alleged Robyn reaction, has reopened every old debate about his temperament. As of November 23rd, 2025, neither Kody nor Robyn has directly responded to Brianna's claims. Robyn, who recently said she doesn't support fake behavior while quietly ignoring one of her former sister wives during a property sale, has stayed completely silent. Meanwhile, Kody had earlier joked about shaving his facial hair so he and Robyn could make out like teenagers. A sweet, slightly awkward moment that now feels oddly out of place in the middle of all this chaos. Online, the reaction is pure reality TV frenzy. Twitter users are calling it Sister Forces, a mashup no one asked for, but everyone is watching. Posts from outlets like Us Weekly and entertainment accounts are pulling in thousands of views. The more I look at this cast, the more I'm losing it. One tweet read, listing Teresa, a Montana contestant, Brianna Chicken Free, and Kody Brown, like characters in a very strange dream. Reddit threads are breaking down every glance, every word, every alleged motive. YouTube channels are uploading speculative videos with titles that suggest Robyn is ready to throw hands. And through it all, Sister Wives Season 20 is moving toward its November 30 episode, promising possible reconciliation while property deals and old wounds remain wide open. For Brianna, fresh off a very public breakup, the drama is boosting her podcast numbers, but it also risks turning into something much bigger than she ever intended. For the Browns, it's another reminder that their family story is still far from stable. So, is this just reality TV noise? Or are we watching another crack form in a family that's been breaking apart for years? What should have been a simple, grown-up real estate closing turned into one of the most uncomfortable moments this family has ever filmed. In the latest episode of Sister Wives, Kody Brown and his remaining wife Robyn arrive at Coyote Pass, their shared Arizona property, to finalize a sale with ex-wives Janelle and Meri. On paper, it's just business. In reality, it's the emotional funeral of a family dream. Coyote Pass was supposed to be everything. 14 acres in Flagstaff, bought in 2018 as the foundation for a future compound where all the wives and children would live together. Instead, it became the last thread tying together a marriage system that had already unraveled. Christine left in November 2021, giving up her share in exchange for profits from her own home sale. Janelle followed in December 2022. Meri in January 2023. By then, the land wasn't a dream anymore. It was just unfinished business. The sale, completed off-screen in April 2025 for about $1.5 million, was supposed to close that chapter for good. Instead, it exposed just how broken things still are. Janelle and Meri arrive in separate cars, not out of convenience, but out of emotional survival. Kody and Robyn arrive late and stay in their SUV. They don't walk over. They don't wave. They don't acknowledge anyone. The realtor, Justin, clearly sensing he's wandered into emotional quicksand, goes over the subdivision paperwork with Kody and Robyn, carefully making sure each former wife's name is properly attached to her parcel. Janelle steps forward to double-check. "I think this is what you said before, right?" she asks. Polite, but guarded. "I just want to double-check it. You know." She doesn't finish the sentence, but she doesn't have to. Her face says everything. Years of feeling shortchanged, ignored, or sidelined are written all over it. Robyn stands stiff beside Kody, visibly uncomfortable. Meri tries not to laugh, not because it's funny, but because sometimes awkwardness is so extreme it circles back to absurd. No one greets anyone. No small talk. No "how have you been?" Just paperwork and silence. When the documents are finally signed, Kody mutters a quick thank you to the realtor. Then, he and Robyn immediately turn around, get back into their SUV, and leave. No goodbye. No eye contact. Nothing. In her confessional, Meri looks hurt but unsurprised. "They didn't even say hi. They didn't even say bye," she says quietly. It was like, "Okay, I am invisible to you." Janelle feels the same. "It was super awkward, right?" she says, almost trying to laugh it off. She wonders aloud if Robyn expected to be attacked or blamed. No, we could have been adults here. But whatever. Later, Robyn tells the cameras she refuses to endorse fakeness. To her, the silence was honesty. To everyone else, it felt like erasure. And in that empty parking lot, with 4 adults standing feet apart but worlds away, Coyote Pass finally stopped being land. It became what it always really was in the end. Proof that some dreams don't just die. They quietly decompose. The women all agree on one thing. The vibe was painfully awkward. And honestly, awkward almost feels too gentle for a scene soaked in years of unspoken resentment. In their separate confessionals, Robyn and Kody try to explain the cold silence. Robyn, wide-eyed and carefully composed, insists, "I don't really endorse fakeness. I'm not going to pretend everything is okay when it's not." She presents the standoff as honesty, saying she simply couldn't bring herself to make polite conversation in such a strange, emotionally loaded situation. Kody quickly jumps in to support her. Robyn hates girl games, he declares, praising her for reading emotional nuance better than he ever could. Together, they frame their quiet exit as a united front, a kind of emotional maturity. Or at least that's how they want it to look. Viewers, however, were not impressed. Social media reacted instantly. One user joked, "Of course she doesn't endorse fakeness. She lives it." Others pointed out the irony that Robyn herself had delayed the sale of Coyote Pass for months, reportedly hoping Janelle and Meri might eventually give up their shares. Meri's decision to have the deal legally reviewed after Kody and Robyn pushed for a confidentiality agreement only slowed things further, a detail the episode barely mentioned while subtly framing Meri as the obstacle. And that's where the bigger picture comes into focus. Coyote Pass was never just land. It was Kody's dream of a polygamous paradise, one massive family, one shared future, all 18 children growing up together. But when COVID hit in 2020, those cracks widened into fractures. Kody accused the other wives of ignoring safety rules. The wives accused him of favoritism and emotional withdrawal. Then came the exits. Christine first, then Janelle, then Meri, leaving Robyn as the only wife still standing beside him. Kody blames girl games and lack of loyalty. The ex-wives blame his obsession with Robyn and the emotional neglect that followed. Everyone tells a different version of the same ending. Now, the sale money allows each woman to move forward. Janelle toward North Carolina, Meri toward Utah, but not without emotional bruises. Janelle quietly reflects on losing a close friend during this period, reminding viewers that behind the contracts and cameras, real grief still exists. Meanwhile, Kody jokes about shaving his mustache so Robyn will kiss him more, a light moment that feels oddly out of place against the heaviness of everything else. Episode 8 does offer one bright spot. Janelle's daughter Maddie welcomes baby Amelia, a small burst of joy in the middle of so much unraveling. But as the episode ends with a tribute to Janelle's late friend Angela Moody, the message lands softly but firmly. Some relationships don't heal. They simply end. Season 20 continues to show the Browns with uncomfortable honesty. Whether viewers see it as closure or just emotional voyeurism depends on the lens they bring. But one truth lingers. In this family, authenticity is complicated. Forgiveness is rare. And silence often says the most. And just as fans are absorbing all of that, another worry surfaces. In the November 16, 2025 episode, Christine opens up to her new husband, David Woolley, about her financial fears. A quiet, vulnerable moment that sent shockwaves through the fan base. Many began to wonder if Sister Wives itself is nearing the end of the road. The conversation, filmed during the Browns' ongoing post-divorce shuffle, touched on everything from college funds for Christine's 6 children to how much the couple still depends on her reality TV income. And for many viewers, it felt like a quiet warning that her departure might eventually mark the end of a show that's been running for nearly 15 years. The episode, titled Loose Lip Sync Ships, shows Christine and her new husband David sitting in their cozy Utah home, surrounded by delivery boxes stacked on the porch. It's a subtle but telling detail, one Christine doesn't try to hide. David gently asks, "So what happens down the road when we're relying only on my income?" Christine doesn't dodge the question. She admits she lies awake at night worrying about money. "I know I'm spending too much," she says, with a small, nervous laugh, explaining that packages are arriving almost every day. The conversation shifts to her children with Kody, Aspen, Mykelti, Paydon, Gwendolyn, Isabel, and Truly, and how the old family account once covered college costs without debt. That, she reminds viewers, had always been important to Kody. But then comes the part that lands the hardest, Christine's quiet realization that the family she once built her entire storyline around no longer really exists. She reflects on how broke they were in the early plural marriage years, then contrasts it with the stability she finally feels now. David talks about his drywall business and their Airbnb rentals as long-term safety nets. But hanging over every sentence is the unspoken question. What happens when the show money disappears? Fans heard it loud and clear. TikTok creator Sarah Fraser went viral almost immediately, suggesting Christine's words sounded like a farewell. "This could mean the show is ending soon," she said, pointing out that Christine's storyline has always been the emotional backbone. Her video exploded with comments like, "It's been dragging since the polygamy plot died," and "Pack up the tell-alls, it's over." Reddit followed right behind. A thread titled, "Christine's Chat Tell the Show's Swan Song," gathered hundreds of upvotes, with fans predicting a season 21 finale. Many argued the ex-wives are thriving independently, while Kody and Robyn's monogamy storyline has nowhere left to go. Others tied it to rumors that both Christine and Meri are working on tell-all books as their exit strategies. On X, formerly Twitter, the mood was just as heavy. One 66-year-old fan worried about future tension between Christine and Janelle as Janelle builds a new life in North Carolina. Christine doesn't understand that North Carolina is all new memories now, she wrote. I can see this becoming a rift. Others were more blunt. This show has no future. They live in different states, one user posted. Another joked that filming now feels like patchwork. Meri with her friend Jen, Robyn with Captain Curls, Christine with David and a baked potato, all under the same show title. Some viewers begged TLC to either move on or completely reset. Put them all in family therapy and I'd watch, one wrote. Even the positive reactions carried a sense of finality. Fans celebrated Christine's confidence, her independence, her joy, but then asked the hard question, if she's finally happy, why keep filming the wreckage? Christine's transformation is undeniable. From polygamous heartbreak to wellness influencer with over 1.5 million followers, from emotional caretaker to businesswoman with her own brand, she no longer looks like someone who needs this show to survive. And that may be the most uncomfortable truth of all. Because when the woman who carried the emotional weight of Sister Wives for years finally outgrows it, the spotlight starts to dim. Christine has been the emotional heartbeat of Sister Wives since day one in 2010, when the series first introduced Kody's plural family with Meri, Janelle, and later Robyn. For more than a decade, her journey carried the show's deepest feelings: hope, frustration, sacrifice, and eventually, courage. Her split from Kody in November 2021, after 25 years and 6 children, was the moment everything truly changed. Janelle followed in 2022. Meri in 2023. One by one, the family structure that built the show collapsed. And Christine knew it. In a September 2025 People interview, she admitted she wasn't even sure the series still had a story left after season 19's emotional ending. Yet, she stayed. In a 2022 Entertainment Tonight interview, she promised to remain as long as we have the show, even teasing possible spin-offs with Janelle. She didn't want to abandon something she'd helped build. But life kept moving. Christine married David in October 2023 in a lavish Utah ceremony filmed for TLC. And from that moment on, her focus shifted. Not to survival, not to conflict, but to empowerment. In March 2025, she wrote on Instagram, "There was a time when the weight of everything threatened to steal my joy. I still get to choose joy." It wasn't just a quote. It was a mission statement. She and David expanded their rental business, built income streams outside TV, and in an April 2025 confessional, she said, "Change can lead to beautiful things." Fans loved her honesty, loved her healing, loved watching her finally breathe. Her September 2024 video, encouraging women who felt trapped to make your decisions based on joy, went viral, and it explained exactly why she now feels ready to pivot away from the past. Which brings us to the uncomfortable truth for TLC. Sister Wives was launched as a look at positive polygamy. Now it's a long-form divorce documentary. Season 19 still pulled around 1.5 million viewers per episode. But the family no longer lives together. Christine is in Utah. Janelle is in North Carolina. Meri is in Utah. Kody and Robyn remain in Arizona. The original premise doesn't exist anymore. A February 2025 Monsters and Critics report reflected growing fan frustration, calling Christine's extended romance arc repetitive and emotionally drained. Many viewers pointed out that Season 20 was filmed back in 2023, making parts of it already feel outdated. Social media echoed the fatigue. One fan wrote, "Not Christine still trying on wedding dresses. Please move on." Others begged TLC to stop stretching the storyline thin. Meanwhile, spin-off rumors won't die. A 2023 Sun report claimed Christine and Janelle were in serious talks for a post-polygamy series. Christine later hinted in a November 2025 Screen Rant interview that she wasn't ready to fully cut ties, citing financial security and unresolved history with Kody. She's still filming, still involved, but clearly evolving. Fans are split. Some want the series to end gracefully. Some want Christine and Janelle to continue without Kody. Some want TLC to finally let the story rest. TLC hasn't said a word. Season 20 continues to air on Sundays. A tell-all is already confirmed. And for now, the network seems content to keep squeezing every last drop of drama from the family's unraveling. Kody continues blaming girl games. Robyn continues crying. Viewers continue rolling their eyes. And Christine? She continues choosing joy. Her future isn't just about her life anymore. It's a quiet vote on whether Sister Wives itself still deserves to exist. Whether the series ends after season 21, transforms into ex-wife adventures, or fades into reality TV history, one truth remains. Christine didn't just leave a marriage. She may be the one who finally sets the show free. The Browns' one big happy family fairy tale shattered a long time ago, and putting those pieces back together now may be impossible, even for TLC's well-oiled drama machine. And just when fans thought the chaos couldn't get any messier, a brand new bombshell dropped. Did Christine Brown's new husband, David Woolley, exaggerate or even lie about owning 3 successful businesses? What began as a storybook romance, complete with a lavish wedding special and glowing interviews, has suddenly taken a sharp turn. Online sleuths and longtime fans started digging into David's business claims, and what they found didn't match what they'd been told. During season 19, and in multiple interviews, David confidently stated that he owned 3 successful businesses. It became part of his introduction to the audience. Proof that Christine had found not just love, but stability after leaving polygamy. On camera, he even said, "I own 3 successful businesses, so I'm doing pretty good for myself." It sounded reassuring. Solid. Impressive. But then the paperwork entered the chat. According to Utah business records, Secretary of State filings, and BEB listings, David Woolley Drywall is registered as a sole proprietorship, not an LLC or corporation, and lists David as the only employee. There is no active construction or drywall corporation under his name in Utah. A second business, Drywall LLC, was registered in 2023, but dissolved in early 2024 for failing to file annual reports. And as for the third business, there is no record of any active company with David listed as an owner or officer. In other words, as of November 2025, public records suggest David Woolley owns 0 active registered businesses, not 3. The discovery exploded on Reddit. On the r/sisterwives subreddit, users posted screenshots from the Utah Division of Corporations showing no active entities tied to David. Another user found an old Facebook page for David Woolley Drywall with reviews from 2018 to 2020, now inactive, showing him as a one-man operation. Then someone uncovered a 2023 cameo video recorded before he met Christine, where David introduced himself simply as a drywall contractor from Utah. No mention of 3 businesses. No empire. Just a working tradesman. Yet only months later, after dating Christine, the story had quietly evolved into owner of 3 successful businesses. So far, Christine and David have said nothing. Christine continues posting glowing content about her marriage. In a November 2025 Instagram reel, she wrote, "Living my best life with my successful, hardworking man." The comment section immediately filled with popcorn emojis, side-eye reactions, and one repeated question: which 3 businesses? Some fans rushed to defend David. They pointed out that many contractors operate under DBAs without formal LLCs, and that success doesn't always require corporate paperwork. Others weren't so kind. They accused him of inflating his financial status, either to impress Christine, to compete with Kody's grand dreams, or to quiet fans who warned her she was moving too fast. And then there's the timing. Fans can't help noticing how closely David's three businesses storyline followed Christine's painful financial history with Kody and Coyote Pass. For many viewers, the claim felt less like coincidence and more like reassurance carefully designed for an audience that had watched Christine lose so much. Whether David exaggerated, misunderstood his own business structure, or simply oversold his success, the damage is already done. The fairy tale shine has cracked. And once fans start questioning the foundation, they don't stop easily. And that brings us to the next uncomfortable question. What happens when Christine, the woman who built her new life on honesty and empowerment, finds herself defending another man's story? Kody Brown spent 2 full seasons questioning Christine's financial future, hinting she'd struggle without him and quietly enjoying what he believed was her downfall. So when David confidently announced he owned 3 successful businesses, many fans saw it as a perfect clapback. Proof that Christine had not only moved on emotionally, but upgraded financially too. Now that story is unraveling, and some viewers are calling it poetic karma. One viral post summed it up perfectly. David said he had 3 businesses to flex on Kody. Turns out, he has 3 businesses the way I have 3 yachts. The math ain't mathing. As of November 23rd, 2025, neither David nor Christine has issued any public statement addressing the business claims. David Woolley Drywall still operates informally, and by most local accounts, he continues to take on jobs as a solo contractor. The dissolved Drywall LLC has not been reinstated, and no third business has ever been identified, not by name, not by record, not by paper trail. So now fans are left to decide what this really was. Was it harmless reality TV exaggeration? Was it a misunderstanding of business terminology? Or was it a carefully polished image designed for cameras and comfort? Whatever the answer, the Sister Wives fandom is not letting it go. Screenshots, links, timelines, the receipts are everywhere. And in this fandom, once the receipts come out, the conversation doesn't fade quietly. The David and Christine love story was supposed to be the peaceful ending after years of emotional chaos. The soft landing. The victory lap. Instead, season 19 delivered yet another twist. Because sometimes the red flag isn't the ex-husband with 4 wives. Sometimes it's the story that sounds just a little too perfect.